Right. So, Detroit Become Human. It was an interesting ride, for sure. I enjoyed the sort of doomsday thought process that went behind it as something that we in the real world might experience ourselves someday in the not too distant future. That said, I do have some less flattering things to say about this game as well, so let's just dive in. This is my Detroit Become Human post game review with spoilers, so if you're sensitive to that or you're looking to play this game yourself, this might not be for you. For the rest of yous, here we go. Detroit Become Human is a walking simulator that tries really hard to be more than just that, and fails. It's the game comes with a lot of Simon Says button matching sequences to sort of mask the fact that all you're really doing is walking around and answering questions. Let's go. Come on. You can do it. Man, I'm having a... What are these button prompts? Stop it. And it's often unnecessarily complicated, or so it feels at least. It's I'm still of opinion that this game would have been so much better off as just being a CG movie, like an actual CG movie. But you know, this is the reality we're stuck with, and so we have a game that feels unnecessarily complicated most of the time, even though the controls and premise of it are simple. Does that make sense? That doesn't make a lot of sense. If this difficulty is because of the port from PS4 to PC, right? The game initially launched on PS4. Then I'll take it with a vial of salt. Otherwise. So, modern society has seen the full integration of androids into our daily lives. It's like smartphones or the internet, but worse, which is evidently possible. It's proven to be a rather self-destructive sort of thing because many people are now without a job because of the integration of androids, because machines are simply better than humans in every way, shape, or form. And this creates this sort of permanent hostile vibe everywhere you look. I need to.
When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Workers' rights! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
Androids look, talk, move like us, like us humans, but they are treated as mere things, or as is increasingly the case, just a piece of plastic that you can really just take your day out on, right? They don't feel any pain, right? On that immediate note, how is it that every...
Listen, saving that kid is all that matters. So either you deal with this fucking android now, or I'll take care of it.
single...
You shouldn't mess around with my stuff.
I'm cleaning your house, you sack of shit!
Sorry, Todd.
You stay the fuck out of my business, unless you want to piss me off. You want to piss me off?
No, Todd.
Person we come across is just the world's biggest asshole we've ever seen.
What's that?
My name is Connor. I'm the android sent by CyberLife.
Androids investigating androids, huh?
Why do you have to
An
be
android hanging around?
such a dickhole right off the bat?
Whatever. The FBI will be taking over the investigation. You soon be off the case.
Pleasure meeting you. Have a nice day.
Can you watch your step?
Or what?
Don't fuck up my crime scene.
I understand that there are tensions, right? And I understand that there are people less than pleased with the existence of androids, but they went to stereotypical sort of, well, let's just make every human an absolute asshole and make every android really lovable, right? It's just a stark contrast that just makes it seem a bit like a joke. What becomes apparent only after having played for a while is that this game is played from 3 different points of views, right? 3 different perspectives. To those of you who are familiar with the movie Sin City, it is not entirely unlike that setup. Right? We play as Connor, who is a highly advanced detective android. We play as Kara, who is a caretaker android, a sort of an android maid, if you will. And we play as Marcus, also a caretaker android, but he is treated more like an actual son rather than a machine designed to fulfill its function. Kara looks very android-esque, right? She wears the typical android uniform, just stock model, and she looks nice. Then there's Marcus, who is, I believe he's clothed by the person he cares for, right? He looks very casual, and you wouldn't be able to tell he was an android were it not for the circle on his temple. And Connor looks like a member of the Thunderbirds. Now, these characters exist separately from one another, but through circumstances, their lives slowly intertwine with one another. At least, I'd like to think that's the case for Kara, that she meets either Connor or Marcus because, because I did what I was told to do, someone else died, and that means that I, by definition, also die, even though I didn't actually die. It's complicated. Honestly, I don't mind that losing a character is part of the game, right? It adds it adds to the stakes, if you will. But this whole Kara deal was a bit weird, right? I didn't even die. Todd killed his own daughter, which, by the way, I think is a bit more pressing than a busted android, right? Why was there no further mention of this in the game? Right? Red Eyes addicted father murders preteen child in a fit of rage. Details at 11. Nothing. Am I too late?
It's all over now. Daddy isn't angry anymore. Daddy loves you.
Todd has muy grande issues, and seeing that whole household was a bit depressing. But as I was receiving this Todd treatment, I thought, sir, your empty threats mean nothing to me. I'm a machine. You can't kill me. The best you can do is destroy me. Again. And then you're gonna have to get me fixed. Again.
There it is.
Hello?
It was a bit difficult getting it back in working order.
Okay.
It was really messed up. What'd you say happened to it again?
The car hit it. Stupid accident.
And all of that is coming out of your own wallet. So really you're shooting... I was holding Todd hostage without him even realizing it, is what I'm saying. Now, Marcus. Marcus was living the high life, right? He had it all. Carl really cared for him, and you could tell. I like how he tried to impart some of his humanly wisdom on Marcus. I like how he tried to teach Marcus the ways of the world and even made him question his own existence and place within this life that he was given. I say given. Can I be claimed to have talent, or is it just a perfect replica?
That is a perfect copy
There we go.
of reality. But painting is not about replicating the world. It's about interpreting, improving on it,
There we go.
showing something you see.
Carl, I don't think I can do that. It's not in my program.
Go on, go. Try it. Grab that canvas.
Then Carl's actual flesh and blood son shows up, Leo, whom Carl doesn't really care for much, if at all. And Leo and Marcus get into it when we start a fight, and Carl says, don't do anything back, right? Probably for my sake. That's what I took away from that situation. He wanted to protect me. But I chose to defend myself. I chose to stand up for myself, and I give Leo one little puss, and Leo immediately starts dying. You know what? Wait, really? Somehow Carl is also immediately in tears, even though up until that point, Leo was really just a bit of a blight in our lives. And suddenly, I'm the asshole. Saying nothing.
Get out! Now! Go!
How? Why? And when I get that something had to happen in order for me to become whom I would ultimately, become. But that whole execution felt a bit meh. I think they could have done a better job there. Enter Connor. This guy is as straight-laced as they come, making him a poor fit for a character of whom I'm still not entirely sure whether I like him or not. Lieutenant Hank is a fallen from grace police officer. Hello.
Lieutenant Anderson, my name is Connor. I'm the android sent by Cyberlife. I looked for you at the station, but nobody knew where you were. They said you were probably having a drink nearby. I was lucky to find you at the 5th bar.
And he gets Connor sort of forced onto him so they can team up and beat the deviants. Now, as boring and straight and narrow as Connor is, I don't dislike the guy. There's something about him that just clicks. I don't know what it is. I played Connor as an android who would come to question his existence as well an android through his interactions with Hank. But I'm pretty sure that if I chose to play the stern machine route with Connor, I still would have enjoyed playing with him. It's just, there's just something about the guy. And it's not just his coin trickery that got me. Android RK800. Pull this shit at a bar. You will never pay for a drink again. Me. I also enjoyed playing as Connor the most, right? I like the sense of urgency to everything we were doing, and the fact that one wrong move could lock me out of potentially golden information. In particular, my visit to the Eden Club, which is a joint where you can sex it up with an android, was particularly interesting to me, and not for the reasons you're probably thinking of right now. Now, after a tedious game of hide and seek, Marcus finds his new home with his people, and these other deviants, they claim to be free, yet they live in the dark on a busted freighter, waiting out their days in solitude, doing nothing.
I came to Jericho because here androids are free. Free to live in the dark, hoping that no one finds us. Free to die in silence, waiting for a change that's never gonna come.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Of those deviants, 3 of them become close friends / confidants of Marcus, and they are sort of the 3 horsemen to me, Mr. Apocalypse. Simon, Josh, and North. Now, Simon is okay. He looks permanently tired, but Simon is okay. Josh and North, on the other hand, I just can't seem to like them. And this is mainly because they have a tendency to contradict past actions, where they will say one thing and North will say the other thing, and in the next moment these roles will have been reversed, and I'm like, there is no consistency to these characters, or at least characteristics, and it might be just me, but it irritated me.
We don't have any weapons. And even if we did, none of us knows how to fight.
We can steal what we need without fighting.
We'll just get ourselves killed.
Maybe. But it's better than waiting here to be shut down.
I'm with you. This is suicide. We'll all be killed. Please, Marcus. It's not too late to change your mind.
You don't understand.
You do not
We're finally gonna
understand.
show them who we really are. This place will go down in history.
We'll be killed on the spot.
That's a risk I'm prepared to take if it means freedom for our people.
So, as the game progresses and we make a stand and we declare our wishes, more and more androids make their way to Jericho, right? And they look to me as their leader. Either that, or I will convert androids I encounter myself. I put my hand on their shoulders and whisper sweet nothings to them. And this is fine, but at one point Marcus will speech to his people saying, "I was once a slave."
My name is Marcus, and just like you, I was a slave.
And how he will fight to get his freedom back. Is it? Whoa, 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 whoa. Time out. 1. You can't get your freedom back because you were initially designed to be a tool to fulfill a specific function, and as such, you never really were made with freedom in mind. Just saying. And 2, more importantly, he was never a slave. Marcus literally had the best life any android could possibly wish for. Carl saw him as his gifted son and asked no more of him than he would any other human being. The fact that someone who's never had it rough now starts preaching about the struggle, right? It's insulting almost. Now, Connor, my little boy, he and Hank get chummy, right? We become pals, despite our rocky start. And at one point, Connor too gets the question, so to speak. Do I become a deviant or not?
Have you never wondered who you really are? Whether you're just a machine executing a program or a living being, capable of reason. I think the time has come for you to ask yourself that question.
And I choose to become a deviant. And I inform Marcus, or Jericho Inc., if you will, that there is a large storage of androids in the basement of CyberLife. And CyberLife is the company behind the androids. I make my way there, right? I sneakily, deftly make my way into that tower, and I get to where I need to be. And Hank is somehow there with another Connor model.
Step back, Connor, and I'll spare him.
Sorry, Connor.
This is awkward.
This bastard's your spitting image.
I don't think they had any way of knowing that I would be there, despite the other Connor model having access to my previous memory banks. I don't see how did he drag Hank along with him in a sort of, it's going to be worth it kind of, no. So we're there, right? And Deviant Connor, me, and Dick Schnickel Connor, the fake, we get into it, we scrap, and suddenly Hank can't tell us apart anymore. And sure, to his defense, it is difficult to tell us apart. So A. Connor suggests that Hank asks us a question that only the real Connor would know. And so Hank asks me, what is my son's name?
Why don't you ask us something? Something only the real Connor would know.
My son, what's his name?
I don't know. I don't know! Anthony!
Anthony!
Listen to me. You can look back the playthroughs. At no point have we discussed his son. I learn in this moment that Hank even had a son. So I'm trying to process this and I'm thinking, oh, Hank is pulling a double bluff. Like he's asking this question. Fake Connor will give an answer. And Hank will then shoot him saying, I never told you I had a son. Right? That would have been pretty cool. Instead, I'm actually given a list of choices, and with a measly 25% chance, I hope for the best and I pick the wrong answer, and Hank just blatantly shoots me. And I fail my mission. Fake Connor will tell him this, so well, you play it yourself. I'm done here. You can kill me if you want. I don't care anymore. This irritated me more than anything, I think, right? This was an ending choice, right? It was a major plot point. It was a major turning point. And asking me a question I had less than 0% chance of knowing, I feel like I got tricked out of a good or better ending. And it really, really annoyed me. The only reason I went along with it is because I was playing No Take Backsies, right? That's one. And two, because somewhere in the back of my mind, I thought that this was an interesting plot twist and also somehow fitting considering Hank. Fucking dead weight.
Fuck out of here!
So the ending rolls round, and despite Connor's absence, we make the best of it, right? We make our stand and we make do with what we have. And the ending, I have to say, has been a major redeeming point for me. That stuff gave me goosebumps, and it's been a long time since anything did that to me game-wise. All seems lost. We've got our backs against the wall, and I get 4 choices in that moment. And like slaves have done in the past, I felt it appropriate to do this, and I decided to sing a song. And with the people that are with me, which is like a small crowd of the last androids, so to speak, we bust out this eerily haunting choir version of Hold On Just a Little While Longer. And man, that stuff really hit home.
Sing on just a little while.
Actually getting goosebumps here.
Sing on just a little while longer.
Then the President of the United States, who strangely resembles Hillary Clinton, she sees the footage on TV and calls off my imminent annihilation.
Tell them to stand down.
And I'm thinking, that's what did it for you? A song? Not the protests, not the fact that I showed no violence whatsoever despite being gunned down in the streets. It's a song. I could have grabbed a guitar, stood myself in some sort of square, and I would have achieved my goal there and then. Really? I mean, I'm happy that I succeeded in realizing my ideals, but really? And then during the epilogue, at least I'm guessing it's an excuse for an epilogue, there's this massive crowd of white, unrendered androids.
Our people finally emerged from a long night.
What are these unrendered textures? Wait,
the very first day of our existence.
Who are these people?
We have kept our pain.
I just was where did they come from? What are they? I don't gave the whole ending a sort of feeling more than it was already doing at that point. So yeah, the game ended on a weird note, I suppose, despite moments prior to that, I was really into it, and then it just pulled me away from it again. So overall, the game was enjoyable. But again, I think I would prefer to see this in a sort of movie-like setting, mainly because there wasn't much game to speak of, right? These sort of games typically don't have a lot of gameplay, and I've played other entries with a similar sort of take to them that just work better. But overall, if you get hands on this, you at least enjoy the playthrough, I'm sure, right? Because there are many options that I simply don't know of, right? There are a lot of permutations to this game, which give this game at least some replay value, right? There's that.
Are you familiar with Schrodinger's cat?
Until you decide what happens, everything is happening at once. Like in Detroit.
One where Kara doesn't immediately die. So overall, there is something to be gained from playing this game, or there's something to be gained from playing this game multiple times, even. I will probably not be doing that myself, as there are other games that need my attention. But yeah, take that for what you will. And with that, another game gets added to the shelf. People of the world, I am the Hiraeth Gamer. Thank you so much for playing this game with me, and I will see you on the next one.